So I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he basically said to me, "Hey, Brendan, I want to lock in. How do you do it? How do you do it every single day and not get burnt out?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean specifically? How do I do what?" And he said, "Well, you wake up at 4 a.m. every day, you go to the gym consistently, you're in great shape, like you track your macros, you eat healthy, you have this business. How do you manage everything? How do you do it?" And I said, "Well, I don't really know. I didn't really have an answer for the question." And I said, "Let me get back to you." And so I went home and I thought about this all day. How do I do it? How do I stay disciplined? How do I not get burnt out? And how do I show up every single day without hating my life? It's not fun waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And the truth is, I have a smile every day, and I didn't really understand why I had that smile. And to find the answer to that question, I had to look back in time. And I had to reflect on a time where I didn't have that balance. Because at the start of this summer, I started developing myself, and I went like all in on my personal development journey. I quit going out, I cut off a lot of friendships, I stopped talking to the girl that I was talking to because I thought that it would make me lock in harder. I started working on my business 10, 12 hours a day, and I got good results. I was in great shape, I started to make the most money I had ever made, but the truth is, my whole life felt meaningless. I felt like every single day, I was waking up, I was doing the same things at the same times, and I was sleeping. I was just going straight to bed. And my day was this recumbent loop over and over and over again of doing the same things every single day. And I realized that, that didn't bring me happiness. I had achieved all of the outcomes I wanted. I was making the amount of money I wanted to. I looked the way that I wanted to. I felt the way that I wanted to, or so I thought. But the truth is, I was slowly killing myself. And every single day, I would wake up and I would be like, fuck, like, I gotta do this again. I gotta get on my phone and post these stories for my audience, and I've got to, get up and fucking go to the gym, and I don't want to work out. And I started to not even enjoy the things that I used to love. I love working out. It's a huge part of me. I bodybuild. So it's a massive part of my life, and I've loved it for the past 5 years, but even that I started to hate. Started to hate going out because I felt like I was behind. And every time I'd go out with my friends, I felt like I was losing myself and I'd have to go back in and work. And I just felt like so overwhelmed with the pressure to succeed that my quality of life was destroyed. And I told myself I wouldn't let myself be happy until I started making $25,000 a month. I wouldn't let myself be happy until I became a natural pro bodybuilder. I literally told myself that I couldn't get a girlfriend, I couldn't socialize until I was doing these metrics, until I was making X amount of money and I had X body and I achieved X goals. And that mentality killed me. That mentality made me not want to wake up every single day. And although I was still on a good routine, I would wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. every day and feel depressed. I'd wake up and feel like, I might not have had no purpose. And I didn't understand why this was, because I had bought the car that I always wanted. I had the body I always wanted. I had financial security when I was in debt 6 months before that. I had everything that I had wished for. So why did I not feel happy? And the truth is, I did this subconsciously without even realizing, but I started to slowly shift my routine to allow myself to love life more. Something I started doing was I would, journal in the morning, and I'd write in the morning, how am I feeling today? And then I would just simply jot it out, and I would force myself to write down these things that I was grateful for. And even that small habit, centering my morning around gratitude allowed me to become so much more fulfilled and just feel so much happier throughout the day. And I started to, shift my training. I stopped working out in the mornings and I started working out at night. A simple shift, but it made a big difference. And I started allowing myself to see friends more. I told myself, you know what, hey, Brendan, you're doing good. You can get into a relationship if you find the right girl. You can do all of these things that you want to do. But more importantly, I removed the barrier that I wouldn't let myself be happy unless I had an outcome. See, when you start personally developing, you start, locking in on your life, all this shit, whatever. You try to become that best version of yourself, which you guys know that's what I preach. But whenever you start that journey, it's so easy to just get wrapped up in the outcomes. It's so easy to every single day just wake up and say, well, I'm not where I want to be yet. Boo-hoo, my life sucks, back to the grind. That's the easy thing to do. But the hard thing to do is to feel grateful when you have nothing going for you. And I was tested in this, and I, faced the big test when towards the end of the summer, my business started to tip off and I started to do worse. And I said, okay, well, why am I doing worse? I just hit these PR months. I'd done really well. I stopped enjoying the gym, whatever. What is happening? And I realized that it's because I was not doing anything out of love and gratitude anymore. I was simply showing up because of this meaningless goal that I wanted to achieve. But the truth is, that goal would have never made me happy in the first place with the mentality I had. Maybe I achieve, making a certain amount of money, or maybe I achieved getting that pro bodybuilding card. But the truth is, I would have just set my sights immediately on a higher goal and not even gotten to enjoy, what I had achieved. I would have just focused on that next goal and the next goal and the next goal. And I realize now that the entire point of personal development is to love your life more and become somebody you can be proud of. Because I had become somebody I could be proud of, but I wasn't even grateful enough to understand that. All I was thinking about was my goals. All I was thinking about every single day was, what can I achieve next? What can I do next? What can I overcome next? What can I quit next? That was the main thing in my head. Every single day, over and over and over again. It was just this recumbent loop of just wanting more. Constantly wanting more. And it's not bad to want more. It's never bad to want to continuously achieve things. But what I want you to harp on, and what I want you to really take from this video, is that you deserve to smell the flowers because you planted the seeds. You deserve to enjoy the outcome and the fruits of your labor. Now, you might not be where you want. You might be watching this trying to get in shape, and you might be down, 10 pounds or something like that, and you want to get down 100. And all you can think about is the next weight goal, is the next amount of weight you want to lose. Oh, I need to be down 90 more pounds. Oh, I need to lose X amount of pounds this month. Otherwise, then I'll be happy. No, that's just not how this works. You're never going to be happy if you only allow yourself to feel happiness off the back end of random goals. You'll never be happy. You have to understand that the key to not losing yourself in this whole personal development spiel, this whole journey that you're going on, is by showing up every single day as the person you want to be and thinking like that person would. Because, you say, okay, if I'm making this amount of money, or if I'm like a jacked bodybuilder, I'm going to be so fucking happy every day. I'm going to love my life. You might think that, right? Well, the truth is, if you feel that way, if you feel that that's going to make you happy, then the key to your actual happiness right now is to show up every single day as that person would. I'm not making the amount of money I want to make. I do well for myself as a 20-year-old, but I'm not making the amount of money I make. But I am so fucking thankful for what I have, and so grateful and so happy because I carry myself as the version of me who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. I know that person would show up every day. I know that person would be happy. I know that person would be grateful. I know that person would take care of the people around him. And I know that person would put a smile on everyone's face that he could. And so that is what I do every single day. And subconsciously, without even realizing it, that makes me happy. It allows me to feel fulfilled every single day because I'm showing up as that person and I'm enjoying my life because of it. Like I said, I'm not there physically yet, but I'm already there mentally. I get to show up every single day as that person and enjoy myself. And if you don't want to lose yourself in the personal development journey, you have to be willing to make change. You have to be willing. Damn, that flavor's good. You got to be willing to switch up your routines and to allow yourself to experience life. There's a fine line between personal development and monk mode. And monk mode is what I did at the start of this summer, and that's why I lost myself. I thought that personal development was locking myself away, never seeing my friends, just going to the gym, just working on my business all day, just grinding, posting every day, doing all this shit that I thought was going to make me happy. I thought that that was personal development, but in reality, I realized that the point of personal development is to love your life more, and that made me hate my life. No materialistic goal is going to make you happy if you throw away your entire life in the process. I'm going to repeat that again. No materialistic goal is going to make you happy if you throw your life away in the process. Like I said, I had been doing the best I had ever done up to that point in terms of finances, in terms of my physique, in terms of every metric of my life. From the outside, you would think that I was doing incredible, but from the inside, I was dying because I wouldn't let myself feel happiness, and all I did was lock myself away. I lost friends, I lost the girl that I was talking to. I lost all of these things that I convinced myself didn't matter because I thought that I had to go monk mode. Where the difference lies within personal development is you're still showing up for yourself. I wake up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm still grinding every day. I wake up and do cardio, and I go to the gym in the afternoon, and I eat healthy every day, but I still have my one cheat meal a week with my friends. And, I still will see my friends at night when I'm done working. And I still will allow myself to find a girlfriend or allow myself to, start dating somebody if I find the right girl, and I'm not going to close myself out from that outcome. That's where the difference lies. Personal development is about locking in. Oh, holy shit. Almost broke a $1,000 camera. That would have been a bad day. But personal development is about locking in becoming that best version of yourself, waking up early, like focusing on your finances, focusing on your success, focusing on your physical and mental health. But it's not about losing yourself. It's not about locking yourself in a bedroom every single day. Although I'm in a bedroom, so that's ironic. But it's not about locking yourself in a bedroom every single day and just putting your head down 24/7. That's not what this is about. Because then you're going to look up and you would have achieved every goal you've ever wanted. But your parents are gone because you've worked so hard and you missed out on every crucial moment of their life, and you never got to experience spending time with your family because you locked in the whole time. Or you might be 30 and realize, holy shit, I haven't talked to a girl in 5 years because I just thought that I had to lock in my whole life. Holy shit, I don't have any friends. I don't know anyone, I lost all my friends and lost all my connections. Holy shit, I'm 30 and my life is a third of the way over and I haven't experienced anything except my fucking bedroom and money. Money and the physique are the two things that every man feels like they want the most, right? And obviously I help people get there. I help the guys in my program level up mentally and level up physically and become that best version of themselves. But what I don't do is make them cut off their lives, because that is where the line is drawn. You can develop yourself so damn much. You can develop yourself every single day, but if you don't do it with the intent and the feeling and the gratitude of loving your life more, you will fizzle out and you will lose yourself in the process. I found myself again after losing myself in that journey through changing my routine, through allowing myself to feel something, through allowing myself to be a human being, but still focusing on the development. The development is key and the development is crucial, but it means nothing if you're not able to love your life. So what I advise you to do is to center every part of your day around gratitude. Be thankful for what you have, do not take it for granted, and never stop striving for more. You can keep striving, you can keep working hard, but do not allow it to consume your entire life. Don't allow it to ruin your relations. Don't allow it to make you miss out on valuable time with your family that you might never get back. And don't allow it to take over your life to the point where you are no longer a human being. You have unique connections, you have unique experiences, and you have unique circumstances. And above all, you are a human being who deserves happiness and deserves to feel something each and every single day because you are so blessed to be here. So go through your personal development journey with the intent of doing it not only to become that best version of yourself, but do it out of gratitude and do it because it makes you love your life more, not because it makes you hate yourself.